One fun technique in portrait photography is the cloning technique, where you take a camera on a tripod or some other stable source and take multiple photos and put the person in different parts of the scene and then stitch them together afterwards. Go ahead and open up clone1 and clone2.jpg from the support files. So we have two photos here, my friend Chris, and you could use the move tool, click and drag one to the other, and bring the opacity down on the top and try to stitch it together perfectly. You know, if we had it actually pretty close, and then you brought the opacity up like so, and then we'd want to add a layer mask on the top layer here and use a brush, soft edge brush with black as the foreground color, and we just paint in the other Chris here. Problem is it's slightly off. You can see there's some distortion in the leaves of that palm tree there. So here's a better way to do that. So I closed out this edited one and reopened it so it's not an edited photo. And so this technique I'm going to show you is usually used for landscape photography to make panoramics, but we can use it in portrait photography to do this clone technique. So go ahead and go to File, Automate, Photo Merge. Then if you don't have anything open, you can click Browse and find these photos. Otherwise, just click Add Open Files. If you have more files open, just remove those from this list. So we just have clone1.jpg and clone2.jpg. And there's some options here like perspective, cylindrical, spherical. I'm just going to leave it on auto and just have blend images together checked, and just press OK, and it's going to go through and mask out and combine these two together like so. The problem is now we only have one person here, right? And you can see on this one he's masked out, and on this one he is not, right? So if I alt click this or option click this on the Mac, you can see the two masks. So what we need to do, there's just one more step, is this one where you can see in the thumbnail he's on the left. We need to paint some white in there. So make sure the foreground color is set to white. Choose a nice soft edge brush with the brush tool, hardness set to 0, and just click and drag and we can bring him in here. Now the important thing, and that's our technique, the important thing to consider when you're taking these photos, if you want to use your own, is to make sure the camera does not change in between shots. So you need to use a tripod or some other way to stabilize the camera in between shots. Also, we don't want to change the focus in between the shots, so after it autofocuses, just set it to manual focus. We also don't want to change the white balance, the ISO, the film speed, the shutter speed, or the aperture, because you don't want a different depth of field between the two shots. Alright, you can try it just set to auto, but you might end up with different settings between shots depending on if it has the same settings. Alright, so that's the clone technique. It's pretty fun. Another portrait technique to add to your toolbox.